Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 532 based on novel. So let's start. Strange, why does the aura of one of the four guardians outside the realm appear in the demon world and entangle Kaylin Nanzi? What are the plans outside this territory? It seems that the civil strife in the clan needs to be ended as soon as possible, but the guy from the Silver Dragon King and the descendant of the dragon gods will around her are not easy to deal with. In a faraway place, a middle-aged man bathed in a golden dragon robe reluctantly shook his head. The dragon was mighty, and the power contained in his body seemed to be above the peak of this world. At the same time, in the Endless Fire territory, when Xiao Yan and others were fighting in the demon world, there were also scenes of thrilling confrontation. Xiao Yan and the others rushed towards the Endless Fire realm after finishing the demon realm. Unfortunately, the journey took a lot of time, and they didn't know if they could make it in time. Today's Endless Fire territory is the core of the Endless Flame Alliance. The whole body is sheltered by countless holy flames. Some ordinary evil auras and evil powers cannot quietly approach here. The fire territory formed by those endless holy flames has become an endless. The natural danger in the fire domain is very disturbing. Strange, I've always been restless recently, and even my chest is vague. Is there something important to happen? Yun Yun's figure is graceful and her curves are unparalleled. Between her lips and brows, there is a hint of unease in her mind. At this time, Yun Yun was sitting alone in the quiet mother-in-law hall, dealing with the distribution of medicinal pills and resources in the Endless Flame Alliance. Terrible things are about to happen. Xiao Yang led most of the powerhouses to help the demon world. Mu Yingying has not yet awakened from retreat. In the entire Endless Fire field, except for the old man with bones, the cold-blooded general, the guardian of the Xiao family, and some reincarnation-level powerhouses, the power here is almost, but it is weak to a point of concern. Fortunately, there is a space channel connecting the other four places. If anything happens, the five forces will also support each other. Hey! Sister Yun Yun, what's the matter with you? At this time, the door of the mistress's palace was gently pushed open by a pair of pure white wrists, and a milky figure crept in. Looking at the worry on the face of this beautiful person in front of her, the little girl raised her pink and tender face. The cute face looked at Yun Yun. There was a doubt on the little face, but Yun Yun could naturally feel the concern in it. Diffeng, don't disturb my sister. For a time, a shrewd-looking little boy poured into the door of the hall again, and reprimanded with a stern face. Oh, got it. Brother Tianlong, let's go eat something delicious. The two little guys disappeared in a flash and disappeared here in an instant. The two of them are naturally the spirits transformed by the Taiji Heavenly Emperor Sword and Sword Spirit. Their strengths have both reached the peak of the fivefold reincarnation level, but their minds are no different from the average 10-year-old human child. One of the powers. After all, after the two join forces, even ordinary six-layer reincarnation level powerhouses will not be able to obtain any benefits from them. Two lovely little fellows. Seeing the two little guys leave, Yun Yun was both happy and angry. Kaylin, Xiao Xiao, Zuna, Xiao Lin, they have all achieved a positive result with Xiao Yang. Why don't you want to? Today's Xiao Xiao and Xiao Lin, naturally inherited the blood of the Xiao family, are not willing to be under the protection of the eagle and go out to practice alone, but their safety has always been under the attention of Xiao Yang and others, and hidden with their own identity and bloodline power. Not many people in the entire Great Thousand World will have their true identity. The divine sword is buzzing. How is this going? Suddenly, on the wooden frame on which the Tai Chi Heavenly Emperor Sword was placed beside Yun Yun, the divine sword, which had been quietly placed on it, began to shine brightly, and the whole body buzzed, as if being provoked and dangerous. Come on, activate the highest level of vigilance at the Endless Fire Domain headquarters. Suddenly, Yun Yun suddenly realized something. Holding the divine sword, she called directly to the bodyguard outside the mother-in-law's hall. Mother, what happened? The two bodyguards poured into the hall, looking at Mistress Yun Yun, who looked flustered, and immediately wondered. After all, the highest level of vigilance in the Endless Fire territory requires the decision of the territory owner or many high-level leaders in the territory. Although several mistresses also have decision-making power, they still want to ask clearly. After all, the entire Endless Fire territory does not have spot any suspicious presence. Hurry up and prepare for the highest level of defense, otherwise it will be too late, and all the responsibilities will be borne by me alone. Yun Yun knows better than anyone that once the highest level of alert is activated, it will consume countless precious resources in the Endless Fire territory, but she would rather this is the illusion generated by her divine sword, and Yun Yun does not dare to have any luck. After all, this is the endless fire territory, and this is Xiao Yang's hard work. Yes. Hearing Mistress Yun Yun's stern voice, the bodyguard immediately nodded and headed directly towards the key of the secret room. I hope it's my delusion. Holding the divine sword in her hand, Yun Yun stood up directly, and the dazzling power of reincarnation began to emerge around her body. The peak strength of the 5-layered reincarnation was fully displayed, and the lotus stepped forward and walked out of the endless fire domain high platform. For a time, in the entire quiet endless fire area, suddenly there are countless flame energy bathing out. Layers of holy flame energy of different colors cover the sky and cover the endless fire field, sheltering it, and there are dozens of holy flame power fluctuations filled with it. One of the powers on the highest alert is the 4 mistresses headed by Zuna, Yun Yun, Mu Yingying, Kailin, Xiao Yang, and others. Using such a price, it is a huge loss. How is this going? Why did you use the highest level of vigilance in the endless fire territory? At the same time, the high-level leaders of the other 3 continents under the endless fire territory raised their heads at the same time and looked at the endless fire territory headquarters. To use such vigilance, is it because the enemy is coming? Integrate the forces and move closer to the headquarters. For a time, among the 4 continents, there was no movement except the Shenling continent, which occupied the headquarters, and the continent ruled by Princess Xingqian. Many powerhouses living in the headquarters felt the flame of holy flame that began to boil violently in the void of the endless fire domain, and immediately walked out of the mansion slowly and gathered on the high platform of the headquarter. Mother, what's the matter? Some uninformed high-level personnel glanced around and found that outside the void of the endless fire domain, except for a layer of airtight black clouds, there was nothing strange, and couldn't help asking. An enemy invaded. Yun Yun let out a feint. There was an unprecedented oppression in her beautiful eyes, and she looked up at the black clouds in the distance. It seems that the source of the humming of the divine sword comes from where? Have you been found? Forget it. The seal in the abyss should be broken by Shenyan Rakshasa soon. Let's go and meet these guys well. The endless flames without a leader, I want to see what kind of waves these guys can get through. For a time, the black clouds outside the endless fire territory began to surge, and in the blink of an eye, a dark cloud was released, completely encompassing the huge body of the entire endless fire territory. A wave of extreme evil lingered around the endless fire territory like an airwave, completely wrapping this place. It was like a cage in hell. On the incomparably huge endless platform, many strong people stand slowly, even with the isolation of the holy flame fire realm. The terrifying fluctuations that continue to permeate from the dark clouds and mists are still terrifying. It seems that the power fluctuations in it are more than several times stronger than the strength of Xiao Yu. Extraterritorial evil race? At this moment, many high-level executives clearly sensed the seriousness of the matter in their eyes, and when their minds moved, the majestic power of reincarnation lingered around their bodies, ready to act completely at any time. Boom. Sir, the seal has been loosened, you can leave the customs. Immediately, in the endless fire domain, in the distance where Princess Xingqian ruled the area, a figure bathed in a pure white halo stepped into the abyss, and there seemed to be some kind of strange power in his hand. Those pure white halos turned out to isolate the latter from the discovery and interference of the sacred aura of the endless fire territory. Mysterious and mysterious. With the surging power of the latter, in the abyss below, the harsh sound of broken chains began to emerge, and a monstrous spirit was slowly recovering. This guy, the half-evil Shenyan Rakshasa, was ordered by the 4th evil to come here to save a certain powerhouse. Susu, is this the so-called Endless Flame Alliance headquarters, Endless Fire Territory? Everyone, come out and die. At the same time, a strange figure suddenly set foot on the 10,000-meter abyss of the Skystar continent, and the monstrous demonic sound shook every powerhouse in the Skystar continent. Even after countless reincarnations, with the help and intelligence of Shenyan Rakshasa, the latter knows the current situation very well. The black shadow in the abyss stepped on the abyss at will. The sturdy body was as thick and majestic as a mountain, and the majestic and vast power of reincarnation permeated its whole body. A group of high-level officials headed by Princess Xingqian was at a loss for a while. The shadow is wearing a dark and eerie cassock, which looks just like ordinary people, but there are vicious creatures that stand on the cassock, and the skin, flesh and blood, even with indistinct less crisscrossing scars, and more arrogant to set off its breath. As soon as the black shadow appeared, his eyes turned hideous, his sharp teeth flashed with monstrous murderous intent, and Sen Lung's intent reached the extreme, as if the latter and the so-called Xiao clan had a mortal hatred. Princess. Seeing the power fluctuations that started to burn around the princess in front of her, countless eyes turned red while holding hands. Ants. Facing this scene from everyone, He Ying and Shenyan Rakshasa sneered, and with a wave of their hands, many strong men instantly fell back thousands of meters, and spit out a mouthful of blood. Too strong. How powerful is this? In the distance, the headquarters of Endless Fire Territory. Enemy attack. Defense. Even in the face of the countless evil armies that surrounded the Endless Fire Territory, the countless powerhouses in the Endless Fire Territory did not have any panic. Under the leadership of the elite, they formed a line of defense. The old man with white bones, the cold-blooded general, some of the powerhouses in the guardian clan of the Xiao clan, Yun Qi, Yuan Yang, Mu Feng and other confidants of the Endless Fire Domain, appeared in front of the coalition forces at the same time, watching the darkness above the distant sky. The cloud layer, a heavy feeling turned out to suppress them so much that they couldn't breathe. The joint defense of everyone, coupled with the protection of the Endless Fire Domain, slowed down the speed of the dark magic fog, but the shadows in the abyss of the Tianqing continent were attacking them step by step. It's aggressive. Many powerhouses felt a chill in their hearts, but they all made plans to break the net. Obviously, since the day they decided to join the Endless Flame Alliance, they had envisaged their situation as the most dangerous. However, what they did not expect was that this day would come so quickly. Suddenly, the entire starry sky fell into silence, but the blood-like devil clouds were still rolling, and the number of powerhouses contained in them was probably several times that of the current Endless Fire Territory coalition. How's the situation? Not long after, Yun, along with the two brothers and sisters of Tianlong, Difeng, and others, asked Yang Kai and other confidants. Reporting to the mistress, the current situation is not optimistic. The headquarters of the Endless Fire Territory is connected to the Ghost World, the Celestial World, and even the Demon World. The space passages of the Fire Elves in the 4 regions have all been temporarily sealed by a touch of evil power. I am afraid that these 4 places have also been attacked by foreign evil tribes, and they cannot be carried out now. Space teleportation, mutual support. This time, it seems that we can only rely on us. Although Yang Kai's strength was only a 6-star fighting immortal, the latter was Mu Yingying's elder brother after all. In addition, his deployment of troops and generals was quite mysterious, so he held a lot of power. That's it. Yun nodded, and then her eyes were once again cast on the magic cloud in the surrounding sky. With the power in those demon clouds, it is clear that they can completely crush the Endless Fire Territory. Why haven't they started? Reporting to the mistress, there is something strange. Except for the Xianling continent, which is the headquarters of the Endless Fire Territory, one of the other 3 continents is subordinate to the territory ruled by Princess Xingchen. It seems that their men and horses have not responded to the headquarters since the beginning of the alert. Calling, as if the connection was lost. At this time, the old man with white bones stood up directly and said the most bizarre thing. What do they seem to be waiting for? Doubts have just poured into my heart, and among the 4 continents that constituted the Endless Fire Territory, a roaring and ferocious voice that covered countless reincarnations, like a bloodthirsty beast, emerged completely. Not good. When she noticed this scene, Yun suddenly exclaimed, and just wanted to get up to investigate. A pitch-black demonic energy suddenly spread out from the Endless Fire Territory. That position is the abyss in the Star Continent. In that place, Xiao Yan had already told himself to be more careful. With the emergence of this evil energy, the countless holy flames dormant in the Endless Fire Domain moved violently one after another, as if they were under some kind of fatal threat. One after another burst out. It's a pity that it's too late. A real devil slowly stepped through the void and attacked the headquarters of the Endless Fire Territory. The fluctuations in his body were even higher than the peak of this world. Ha ha ha. Xiao Yang, the first battle was indeed the negligence of this seat, but even if you defeated me, you couldn't obliterate this seat, and let you imprison and seal this seat for countless reincarnations, so what? Here, there is such a disgusting aura that is unique to the people of your Xiao clan. Today is the day when this seat is broken, and this seat will definitely wash the land of your descendants with blood. In the abyss of 10,000 feet, the monstrous demonic energy is rising, and a group of ***** evil light is faintly lingering, like a rising blood-colored scorching sun, floating in the sky. The deafening magic sound shocked everyone present. The vast magic sound easily emerged from the abyss of the Endless Fire Territory Star Continent, instantly attracting the attention of countless powerhouses. The monstrous fire curtain composed of the flames of the Endless Fire Territory slanted towards the abyss like rain, trying to completely suppress and obliterate the latter. It is a pity that the power of these holy flames is too cowardly for this figure. Almost most of the endless fire curtain was completely annihilated in the hands of Mo Tuor, and the top executives in the endless fire domain were moved. This guy. Looking at the evil aura in the distance, the fluctuations contained in it even surpassed the powerhouses of the extraterritorial evil clan in the demon cloud outside the endless fire domain. The holy flame in Yun Yun's body buzzed, involuntarily from floating out of the body. The sacred holy flame trembled, bursting out with a terrifying aura that shook the world, and it contained a sense of danger. The source of that danger came from the abyss in the distance. Obviously, the latter also felt a great pressure from Mo Tuor. This guy is the legendary Buddha world powerhouse that has been lost for a long time. Mo Tuor. Numerous high-level executives of the Endless Fire territory all looked at the endless abyss of the star continent in the distance. Two evil auras stand here, Madhwa and Shenyan Rakshasa. At this time, Mo Tuor's slightly scarlet eyes appeared with endless fierce light, and through the void, the monstrous evil power swept out, shocking everyone present. Especially the Xiao clan guardians on the endless platform. The pressure doubled, as if the source of this hatred and anger was them. It was just that no one noticed that on the body of Mo Tuor, which was wrapped in a jet-black cassock, the scars that could not be healed were very conspicuous, and those scars seemed to be arranged in some kind of mysterious mark. The strong man in the Buddha world, the Buddha's younger brother, Mo Tuor. According to the rumors, wasn't he killed by Xiao Yan, the elder of the Xiao clan, during the war between heaven and earth? How could he still be alive? And according to the records in the ancient books, when they fought, his strength was only at the 6th level of reincarnation. But now, how can it be possible to break through to the 8th level of reincarnation? There was a dignified look on Yun Yun's pretty face. Regarding the matter of the Xiao clan's great elder, the guardians and the space intelligence dealers knew a lot. But now looking at the living figure in front of her, Yun Yun still sighed. The evil spirit that pervaded Mo Tuor's body made even her feel a little troubled. If he was allowed to sweep away his anger, I am afraid that the entire endless fire field would be destroyed in an instant. Huge shock and monstrous pressure swept through Yun Yun's heart little by little, and a daze filled her mind. It seemed that this situation was almost dead, and there was no way to solve it. Under the crushing of absolute strength, all actions are just useless. The 8th reincarnation stage. The power of Modo alone can completely wash the current endless fire domain, not to mention the evil power lingering in the demon cloud outside the endless fire domain. But this is where Xiao Yang's hard work lies. Since Xiao Yang left him to take care of it before he left, even if he did everything he could, he would never let him destroy this place. The powerhouses in the endless fire domain all around looked at the figure of Mo Tuor and the countless evil figures dormant in the surrounding demon cloud, and immediately looked at each other in dismay. Despair began to emerge little by little in the hearts of everyone in the endless fire territory, and sadness and tears were slowly eroding everyone here. But among the hundreds of thousands of people, the tears were not the usual greed for life and fear of death, but were even full of fanaticism and unyielding arrogance. It seems that for them, being able to become a member of the endless fire territory is already an honor. Now that the fire territory is in trouble, the meaning of protecting the shortcoming in the hearts of these powerhouses is becoming more and more obvious. Even if you sacrifice your life for this, you will not hesitate. Lord. Mistress. Among the high-level people, there are many people with anger in their eyes, and they speak out directly. The strength of their bodies begins to rise, and the monstrous fighting spirit permeates the air. Even if it was a deadly battle, they never complained. The endless fire territory has sheltered them for countless years, and now it is time for them to contribute to it. Well, I'm here. On Yun Yun's face, there was a poignant and bleak smile, and she turned to look at the top of the endless fire domain behind her. The strength of these powerhouses, even if some were only at the level of fighting immortals, there was no trace of retreat and fear in their eyes. She naturally believes in the loyalty of the high-level leaders behind her. They are definitely not people who are greedy for life and fear of death. As long as she gives an order, countless strong people will come forward bravely. But so what? Do you want them to sacrifice in vain? Sacrifice them to protect the endless fire domain? Naturally, these answers are all negative, because it seems that only Yun Yun, Tianlong, Earth and Phoenix can accurately sense the exact strength of each other in the huge endless fire realm. What is the concept of the 8-fold reincarnation stage? Even a 7-layer reincarnation level powerhouse is only as small as an ant in his hands, not to mention the powerhouses around him who are mostly below the 5th layer reincarnation level. If you order it yourself, It will undoubtedly be a desperate attempt to completely kill the last hope of the Endless Fire territory. If Xiao Yang was here, what would he do? There were thousands of thoughts in his heart, and the body of the demon in the distance began to shake, step by step into the endless abyss, and came towards the endless platform. Mu Feng, Yun Qi, Yuan Yang, obey orders. I will create an escape route for you later, and you will escape here with part of the bloodline power of the Endless Fire territory. Remember, you only have 3 breaths of time. After a while, Yun Yun's beautiful eyes slowly opened, and there was a look of determination in them. The divine sword and the holy flame were held in both hands, and the righteousness was awe-inspiring. Mother, why don't you fight them for life and death? Mu Feng's red eyes were filled with an unprecedented madness. Under such a catastrophe, no one has any desire to retreat, but why is the mistress? The strength of the demon in front of him is unknown, but it has not yet reached this point. The remaining green hills are there, don't be afraid that there will be no firewood to burn. Facing everyone's doubts, Yun Yun could only shake her head slightly. Their strength is too different from the other party. In addition to the fact that Mordwa deliberately concealed it, they did not realize the true strength of Mordwa. And even if it is a deadly battle, with the power of the Endless Fire domain, no one can break through the siege. A death battle is nothing but sacrifice in vain. Listen to my mistress's orders. You and others escorted the Xiaogui family, the Guardian family, and some immature blood power out of here. Get ready. Buzz. Finally, a gloomy gloom appeared on Yun Yun's cheeks. The divine sword and the holy flame were fused and intertwined at the same time, and the beautiful light was filled with a terrifying energy that shook the world. A group of ants will be destroyed today. Seeing Yun Yun's actions like this, Shenyan Rakshasa sneered, and then looked at the demon beside him. It is wise for the heretic god to send himself to save Mo Tuor. He can wipe out the Endless Fire territory without spending a single soldier or soldier. The attack in Yun Yun's hands in the distance became more and more violent, and there was a vaguely destructive force sweeping out, and the entire void hummed loudly. Bang! Yun Yun swung down with a sword, and the seemingly fierce attack was randomly ejected by Mo Tuor, as if the latter's full-strength strike seemed ridiculous in his eyes. The entire sky of the Endless Fire territory fell into some kind of dead silence. The pupils of many strong men shrank slightly, and some couldn't believe the scene in front of them. They tried to wipe their eyes and tried to see this scene clearly. Unfortunately, this is the case. With the peak strength of the 5 layers of reincarnation, combined with the divine sword, holy flame and many other forces, the powerful blow was easily resisted by the Mo Tuor in front of him. Go! In an instant, Mu Feng and the others gritted their teeth, moved their bodies away instantly, and walked towards some secret rooms in the headquarters. Fight! Even if you die in battle, there will never be any cowards in the Endless Fire territory. After a while, looking at the shocking scene in front of them, many high-level executives had already made plans in their hearts, and suddenly a mighty and magnificent momentum swept out in the entire Endless Fire domain like the wrath of the sky. What a bunch of stupid idiots. Forget it, just use your strength to stabilize that kind of thing in my body. After Mo Tuor finished speaking, the whole body rose up, and there were actually golems pouring out, eroding this world a little bit. Lord Evil God, our power can only last for a quarter of an hour. After a quarter of an hour, many peak forces in the Great Thousand World will find our traces. At that time, our situation may become precarious. What do you think? In the demon cloud outside the Endless Fire territory, the 4th evil ***** sat quietly on the blood-colored stone seat, and many of the evil guards and confidants around him were puzzled. Today's strength is clearly capable of annihilating the Endless Fire territory in one fell swoop, but why does Lord Heretic God hold his ground? No hurry. The destruction of the Endless Fire territory is only a matter of time. Let Mo Tuor destroy the Endless Fire territory. Afterwards, Xiao Yang will naturally put this account on the Buddha's head. Once Xiao Yang angers the Buddha world, it will undoubtedly save a lot of trouble for our evil tribes outside the territory. And the power in this Mo Tuor's body is weird. That kind of thing doesn't seem to be a power that he can control. Don't worry, Modo is nothing but my food in the end. Lord Evil God Shengming. The voice fell slowly. However, no expert noticed that at the very edge of these demonic clouds that surrounded the Endless Fire domain, there was a trace of domineering green demonic aura vaguely refracted, and there was even a trace of pure white filament of divine power following it. Back! 2 strange forces are chasing me, and it seems that they are approaching the Endless Fire domain through some special means. Boom! In the entire Endless Fire domain, the war is raging, and the terrifying energy attack fluctuations are endless, turning this place into a real battlefield. Hee, the brilliance of the ants, how can it be compared with me? Seeing the roaring and fighting intent emerging from all over the endless fire domain, there was a burst of sarcasm on Mordwa's face, and the evil spirit behind the golem released, instantly illuminating the entire endless fire domain. Wherever Mo Hui went, no grass grew, and some ordinary Do Di and Do Xian powerhouses instantly turned into dust and fell to the ground. With his current strength, I am afraid that even the Lord of the Buddha realm cannot match. No one knows his secret. The feud of the Xiao clan will start slowly from here. Once he controls that kind of thing in his body, what can the elder Xiao clan do to me? The pinnacle of the five-layer reincarnation, the sword of the fairy world, the holy flame, the unparalleled beauty. Do you intend to submit to me? Seeing Yun blocking in front of him first, Mordwa was not in a hurry and smiled. If the strongest person in this area is only at the peak of the fifth reincarnation level, it is really not enough to fight by himself. You dream. Facing Mo Tuor's surrender, Yun responded coldly. If that's the case, let's destroy it together. The golem behind Mo Tuor began to surge, and the dark magic power tilted down from it. Wherever it spread, the void became distorted. Wherever it goes, whether it is a human being or a creature, it will be involved in the golem and become the source of the latter's power. You are not his opponent. The attack failed, and the petite figure of the flower elf appeared directly, staring intently at the arrogant devil in front of him. At the same time, an almost illusory pattern began to emerge between the eyebrows of the flower elf, which was beautiful, as if it contained some kind of extraordinary power beyond heaven and earth. What power is that? At this moment, Mordwa's complexion changed suddenly, as strong as him, and he actually smelled a tingling death touch on his scalp from the pattern on the center of his eyebrows. The power of the devil is a mixture of good and evil, and it is not easy to deal with. At this moment, the flower elf above Yun's shoulder spoke strangely. Obviously it didn't have a good way to deal with it. Fuse with me. I know that you are the power left by the flower god. Now, there should be a faint trace in your body, enough to know the legendary flower god. Yun smiled faintly and let out a sigh of turbidity. She seemed to gather up her courage and finally made up her mind at this time. Once the road to the god of flowers begins, you will either succeed in becoming the new god of flowers, or you will fail, and you will be destroyed. You are the 100th inheritor. Are you sure you want to continue? The fire elf looked at Yun seriously, and it seemed that after the latter accepted the inheritance of the power of the palace master of the flower god palace, his understanding of the flower god and himself had improved a lot. However, Yun used to keep silent about the flower god, but now she is so active, which makes the flower elf a little surprised. Are there any other options? Yun smiled slightly, the smile was so poignant. If possible, she would rather live in seclusion in the mountains and forests with Xiao Yang and the others, and live an ordinary and indifferent life, but unfortunately, in this mortal situation someone always needs to stand up. Yun did not have even the slightest confidence in accepting the road to the divine residence of the flower god, and for Xiao Yang's sake, she also deliberately avoided this topic, so she never took the initiative to mention it, but now the enemy is now. In the past, Xiao Yang always dealt with the dangers alone. Now that Xiao Yang is away, as the mistress of the endless fire territory, he can only provoke this responsibility. Bang! The flower elves gently poured into Yun's eyebrows, and immediately drew a beautiful pattern imprint. The imprint pattern is very coquettish, as if it is outlined by colorful blood, which can be called a magical pen. Although there was no increase in Yun's strength, Yun could clearly feel that there seemed to be some mysterious existence in his soul formed by the pattern imprint. At the same time, the flower spirit completely disappeared. And Yun's own life began to count down at the moment when the blood-red flower divine pattern emerged. With the current strength, Yun can only barely mobilize a little power in the flower ***** pattern. One of the very subtle power fluctuations, vaguely through this mark, guides herself to a certain vague direction. There, it seems that there is a test waiting for me in the god of flowers. Unfortunately, if you want to go to that place, you obviously need a larger strength to motivate the god of flowers. With today's strength, it is naturally far from being able to do it. And, even if you get to that place, the test you have to go through is probably not very imaginable. How can something that is related to God be simple? Give that thing to me, and I can let you go. The killing intent in Morda's eyes gradually turned into greed. Unexpectedly, this guy in front of him actually has something of a god's residence in his arms. Flower god, moon god, demon god, poison god, and more. The ancient books of the Great Thousand World have not recorded any related gods' mansions, But the many gods' mansions that have been widely circulated by countless generations in the entire Great Thousand World are not just rumors. Do thousands of worlds really have fighting gods? No one can know, and no one has ever witnessed the existence of the divine mansion. Maybe someone deliberately confuses the public to create rumors of many gods, or maybe there are gods who live in an unknown country and watch their child's play jokingly. However, the fluctuation that just gushed from Yun Yun's eyebrows is almost higher than that of the ordinary eightfold reincarnation level powerhouse. Guessing that in the third, Mo Tuor will naturally recognize it as something of the god's residence. The things of the god's mansion are 1,000 times more precious than divine tools, or even holy flames. The appearance of a god's mansion is enough to cause a real uproar in the entire Great Thousand World. Because the things in the god's residence are likely to be related to the legendary fighting god. No one can know what is the relationship between the things of the god's mansion and the fighting god, but Mo Tuor has enough confidence in his heart that as long as he can obtain the things of the god's mansion, he can take the opportunity to covet the legendary realm. If you want, just get it yourself. Yun Yun rushed into the sky of the endless fire territory, and slowly spread out her white jade-like palm. The flames and air in the endless fire territory suddenly turned into a colorful world of flowers. Those slightly illusory flower worlds set off the entire endless fire territory extremely holy. The figure of Mo Tuor was surging, the demonic energy all over his body rolled, and he came directly from the flower sea world. Yun Yun snorted coldly at this, and a sacred flower began to appear between his eyebrows, the kind of white flower that hardly belongs to this world. Slowly covered the body of the divine sword. When it filled the entire divine sword, the energy in the whole world suddenly quieted down, as if there was only a soft world that was extremely quiet. Break. The magnificent Tianyin descended from the sky, the beautiful figure with fluttering long hair waved out of thin air, and a white sword glow hummed across the entire endless fire domain. The terrifying shock wave completely covered the brilliance of all things, as if under its attack, any creature would be annihilated. Court death. Looking at Yun Yun's desperate move, the golems around Mo Tuor's body surging along with his body, suddenly there is a mysterious imprint looming in the wide palm, and then the palm is suddenly clenched, the blood-red demonic energy is overwhelming. Emerges from the body, and then punches out. With a simple punch, the attacks of many powerhouses in the endless fire territory instantly annihilated them, and the blood-red energy aura instantly turned into a ferocious dragon, roaring and shaking, and even the world became twisted. No one can penetrate the battle above the sky, but after just a moment, Yun Yun's body actually fell from the sky like a lost flower and a willow. All over the body, the flower pattern completely shelters its vitality, the kind of fluctuations produced by the flower ***** pattern, even Mo Tuor can't touch and decipher it. If it is forcibly deprived, I am afraid it will cause the real power to devour Mo Tuor himself. That is the will of the gods, and it is the choice of the gods themselves. I can't intervene at all, and I'm not qualified to intervene, let alone deprive it. At this moment, the contempt and sarcasm in Mo Tuor's eyes disappeared completely, and the killing power in his mind could not be added, just like a devil, slowly leaking a frantic smile. If you can't get it, then destroy it. Mother. The little faces of the Tianlong and Delong brothers and sisters were solemn for a while, and the figures moved in an instant to pick up Yun Yun. The current scene is too shocking and dangerous. The powerhouse of the eightfold reincarnation. Yun Yun sighed softly, and weakly looked at the monstrous magic power around Mo Tuor in the distance. Mo Tuor, this area at the moment was created by Xiao Yan, a descendant of their Xiao clan, please do it. The fourth evil hides in the demon cloud with countless demons, as if he intends to sit on the mountain and watch the tiger fight. If that's the case, then die. Kill. Modo raised his head like a smile, glanced at the fourth evil and others in the demon cloud, and then folded his hands together in prayer. After a while, on top of his body, before the golem, pieces of Buddhist scriptures that were unique to Buddhism were reflected, which contains a murderous aura, which is uncontrollably transmitted from its body. Such fluctuations can be described as terrifying. Obviously at this moment, Mo Tuor is not ready to keep his hands, but is ready to use his ultimate move to destroy the entire endless fire field. Yin-Yang order, the number is yin and yang. The soldier of 10,000 ghost. At this moment, hidden in the endless fire domain is inconspicuous, and a group of figures at the escape channel can't help but turn back suddenly. This world, we will protect it by ourselves. Mu Feng's body suddenly moved forward, and he waved the divine weapon in his hand, which turned out to release an unprecedented, unparalleled evil energy. Countless gloomy ghost soldiers surged against the surrounding demon clouds that were constantly eroding and approaching, and greatly reduced the endless fire area. Partial power. Arranged in formation, the power of the formation pattern, endless fire territory, Vulcan heavens absolute formation. Yuan Yang's fat cheeks moved slightly, and the core inscriptions poured out, which turned out to be controlling the remaining power formed by dozens of holy flames, forming a flame shield wall, protecting the territory of the endless fire domain. Soul power. Water attribute. Yun Qi, the guardian family, the defensive fighting skills in the hands of the major powerhouses emerge in an endless stream. Even if it is the brilliance of the firefly, no one gives up the fight. Seeing the actions of so many people in front of him, Mo Tuor laughed easily. Too weak, with such strength in their own hands, they can't even count as ant. The descendants of the Xiao clan, all the people of the Xiao clan must die. Anything related to the Xiao clan must die. If you want to blame it, blame the Xiao clan. Mo Tuor stood high in the sky, the golem scriptures surging all over his body, and over the entire endless fire field, there was a viscous and extreme demon field gushing out. Standing on the top of the demon realm, Mo Tuor is like an emperor standing at the end of the long river of time, looking down at the whole world indifferently and arrogantly. The demon realm is extremely huge, like a sea of demonic energy that connects the entrance of hell. Once it is eroded by it, it seems that there is only a hopeless situation waiting for everyone. This video will end here.